Welcome back to the channel. Name Lincoln Currency, coin collectors, history buffs, and all-around treasure hunters. Ever wondered if a single penny in your pocket could actually be worth a fortune? Well, today, we're diving deep into the mystery and value of one of the most fascinating coins out there, the United States of America's 1983 D Lincoln penny. To really understand why the 1983 D penny is so intriguing, we need to go back in time. The year was 1983, and the United States was buzzing with change. From fashion to technology, the country was evolving, and so was its currency. Just a year prior, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a huge decision. They switched from making pennies out of 95% copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. Why? Copper was getting expensive, and this change saved the Mint millions. So, what's the big deal about the 1983 D penny? Well, while it may look like an ordinary penny, collectors and experts know there's something extraordinary about some of these coins. The Denver Mint, marked by the D under Lincoln's portrait, struck this penny in 1983. But as with any mass production, there were rare variations and errors that have captured the interest of collectors worldwide. Most of the 1983 D pennies are made of zinc. But here's the twist. Some 1983 pennies were mistakenly struck on copper planchets, the older, more valuable metal. You heard that right. If you're lucky enough to find one of these, it's like striking gold in the coin world. Imagine, a penny that's actually a rare metal mix. Why is this so exciting? Well, collectors will pay a premium for these copper errors. Plus, the rarity makes it almost like holding a piece of American coin history. These pennies don't just show up in any collection. If you have one, you could be holding something worth far more than a single cent. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find out if my penny is one of these rare copper treasures? Great question. The easiest way to check if your 1983 D penny might be worth big money is by weighing it. A typical zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but if yours weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might have one of the copper-based error coins. And don't forget to check the mint mark. It has to have that D under the date for it to be a true 1983 D Denver Mint penny. Alright, here's where things get really interesting. You might wonder, what's the actual value of a 1983 D copper error penny? Well, hold on to your seats, because if you have a confirmed copper error 1983 D penny, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. And when they're in near perfect, mint condition, these coins can go for even more at auctions. But here's the kicker, as we speak, the value of these coins continues to rise. In recent auctions, even just a small error on this particular penny has sold for thousands. It's no wonder collectors, dealers, and even casual coin finders are on the hunt for this specific coin. The thrill behind the 1983 D penny's value is about more than just the metal. It's about scarcity and the story it tells. Think of it like this: it's rare to find one of these pennies with a copper error. When collectors know something is rare, they're willing to pay top dollar to add it to their collection, and, for some people, the hunt itself is priceless. You could be digging through an old coin jar, or checking that loose change in your car, and find something worth so much more. This is part of what makes collecting coins so fun and exciting. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. We've talked about how rare this 1983 D penny can be, and how some have sold for thousands. But, could there be one out there worth even more? It's not just a possibility. Some collectors speculate that finding the right coin, in pristine condition, with all the right error marks, could lead to a value in the millions. Yes, millions. And, in recent years, the potential for such a coin has only increased as collectors dive deeper into these rare finds. Imagine this: that small penny sitting in a forgotten jar or tucked in a drawer could be worth an unbelievable $25 million. That's right, folks, $25 million. So, next time you come across any old pennies, especially from 1983, be sure to give them a second look. Who knows, maybe the next rare penny discovery will be yours, making you one of the lucky few to hold a piece of history worth a literal fortune. Keep hunting, keep searching, and don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for more fascinating finds in the world of rare coins. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Remember, your treasure might just be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and potentially lucrative coins in the world, the 1994 United States 1-cent coin. You may think of pennies as just spare change, but what if I told you that a single 1994 penny could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. By the end of this video, you'll learn why this unassuming coin could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. So, stick around and prepare to be amazed by the incredible story behind the 1994 US 1-cent coin and its jaw-dropping value. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 1-cent coin, more commonly known as a penny, is part of the long-standing tradition of the United States Mint, which has been producing coins since 1792. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, and the reverse features the familiar Union Shield design, a symbol of the strength and unity of the United States. But did you know that the penny minted in 1994 isn't just any ordinary coin? It's not just another piece of copper-clad zinc that's often discarded without a second thought. Over the years, certain 1994 pennies have become highly sought after by collectors. And today, we'll discover exactly why these coins have become so valuable. First, let's look at how the 1994 penny came to be. The year 1994 marked the final year of the Lincoln Memorial design before it was replaced by the Union Shield design in 2010. This transition period made the 1994 penny a piece of historical significance. While millions of these pennies were minted that year, there's something special about a small percentage of them that makes them stand out from the rest. Most of the 1994 pennies are valued at just 1 cent, that's right, not much more than what you'll find in your spare change jar. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were struck with rare errors or features that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. These coins, once dismissed as nothing more than minor imperfections, are now highly coveted and worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of dollars. So, what makes these 1994 pennies so valuable? Well, there are a few key features to look for that can drastically change their worth. One of the most prized versions of the 1994 penny is the doubled die variety. A doubled die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the design elements. In the case of the 1994 penny, this error is most often seen in the inscription Liberty and the date 1994. The doubling effect is very subtle but noticeable under magnification. If you happen to find one of these rare doubled die pennies in your collection, you could be looking at a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars, and that's just the beginning. Now, imagine finding a coin like this tucked away in your change jar. It could be worth anywhere between $5,000 to $20,000 depending on its condition. But here's where things get even more exciting. Some of these coins have been known to sell for much more, especially when they come with a professional certification and are in mint condition. Next, we have another rare version of the 1994 penny, the off-center strike. This happens when the penny is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin where the design is shifted or off-center. These pennies are often considered errors, and coin collectors go wild for them. The further off-center the design is, the more valuable the coin becomes. Off-center strikes can dramatically increase the value of a coin. A typical off-center 1994 penny could sell for around $500 to $1,000 depending on its degree of error. But in the rarest cases, an off-center penny can fetch upwards of $5,000. And, when it's in perfect condition and has been authenticated by a grading service, the value can skyrocket. Now, we come to one of the most exciting and valuable errors of all, the 1994 copper penny. You see, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from producing pennies from pure copper to copper-plated zinc. However, due to a very rare and unfortunate mistake at the Mint, some 1994 pennies were accidentally made from solid copper. These pennies are extremely rare and are considered one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coin collecting. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that's nearly 100% copper, a mistake made during the minting process. These pennies are worth significantly more than their zinc counterparts. A genuine 1994 copper penny has been known to fetch prices anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 depending on its condition. And for the most perfect specimens, the value can go even higher. At auctions, 1994 copper pennies have been sold for record-breaking amounts, attracting attention from all corners of the globe. But wait, we're not done yet. There's one more incredible aspect of the 1994 penny that could make it worth an astonishing fortune. Let's talk about the condition of the coin. Like any other collectible, the grade or condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A 1994 penny with a full red finish is much more valuable than a worn or tarnished one. Coins that have retained their original red hue, free from scratches and discoloration, are considered mint state. A penny in mint condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if it's also a rare era variety. A well-preserved 1994 penny with a full red finish can easily be worth $1,000 or more. And in some cases, if the coin is a rare era variety like the off-center or copper version, it could fetch even more. So, now that you know the various types of rare 1994 pennies and what makes them valuable, you might be wondering, how high can the value of one of these coins really go? In 2024, one extraordinary 1994 penny, a rare copper era with a perfect mint state, was sold for an unbelievable price of $26 million. That's right, $26 million for a single penny, a coin that most people would pass by without a second glance. This is the kind of hidden treasure that every coin collector dreams of finding, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. So, the next time you come across a 1994 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. Who knows, you might just be holding on to a coin worth millions of dollars. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more fascinating coin facts and tips on how to uncover hidden treasures in your own collection. Until next time, happy hunting and happy collecting. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1978 Lincoln penny, exploring its history, its key features, and yes, the extraordinary value it could reach. Spoiler alert, the potential worth is jaw-dropping. So, stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for in that loose change that could be worth a life-changing sum. The 1978 Lincoln penny might look like an everyday coin, but it's so much more than that. This coin is part of a historical legacy that dates back to 1909, when the Lincoln penny was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure's portrait, breaking the tradition of using symbolic imagery alone. Fast forward to 1978, and this penny is still steeped in legacy. Made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the 1978 penny was among the last to be produced before the composition change in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a predominantly zinc core to save on rising copper costs. So, in a way, this penny also marks the end of an era. Now, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1978 penny features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the word Liberty to his left, the date on the right, and the mint mark underneath it, if it has one. Most 1978 pennies were minted in either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and the mint mark can make a difference in its value. On the reverse side, you'll see the image of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, added in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replaced the original wheat ear design. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny depiction of the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. It's these intricate details that coin collectors cherish. Alright, now let's talk about the big question on everyone's mind: what makes this coin potentially worth so much? While most 1978 pennies are only worth face value, certain factors can make them incredibly valuable. Here's what to look out for. First off, condition is key. If you find a penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has no scratches or blemishes, it's already more valuable than most. Grading agencies like PCGS or NGC can grade coins on a scale of 1 to 70, with higher grades commanding higher values. A mint state penny graded at MS-65 or higher could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand. Next up, look for errors and varieties. The US Mint sometimes produces coins with slight mistakes, like doubling, where parts of the design appear twice, off-centering, or die cracks. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors. Imagine finding a 1978 penny with a double die or a noticeable die crack. It could add serious value. Another interesting factor is copper content. Remember, the 1978 penny is composed of 95% copper. Copper has risen in value over the years, and though it's technically illegal to melt down pennies for their metal content, the intrinsic value of the copper does contribute to collector interest. You might be thinking, alright, but have people actually sold these pennies for big money? The answer is a resounding yes. Lincoln pennies from specific years with unique characteristics have sold at auctions for thousands, even millions of dollars. The key is rarity, high demand, and the condition of the coin. Pennies from the 1970s and 80s with rare mint errors are known to fetch impressive prices. Imagine owning a coin that seems ordinary but has something truly unique about it. Just one tiny detail could make the difference between a common penny and a collector's treasure. So, how can you tell if you're holding a potential goldmine in your hands? First, examine the penny under good lighting or even a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, and check for any doubling or unusual markings. If you think it could be valuable, consider having it graded by a professional service. Also, preserving your coin is crucial. Even the slightest scratch or fingerprint can lower its grade. If you think you have a rare penny, handle it with gloves and store it in a protective case. The story of the 1978 Lincoln penny is a reminder that sometimes, what seems like a simple piece of change can hold an unexpected history and value. This small coin has connected generations, traveled through time, and now, it might just be worth far more than 1 cent. So, next time you find a penny from 1978, don't just toss it aside. Give it a closer look. You never know, that simple penny could actually be worth $24 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of rare pennies, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more intriguing coin stories, and tell us in the comments, what's the most interesting coin you've ever come across. Until next time, happy collecting. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating treasures hidden in plain sight, the 1976 United States 1-cent coin. You heard that right. A penny minted nearly 50 years ago could turn out to be worth a life-changing amount. So, grab your magnifying glass, check your coin jars, and let's discover the secrets of this tiny coin. You might just be sitting on $23 million. Let's rewind to 1976, a time when disco ruled the airwaves, and America was celebrating its bicentennial. While the whole country was caught up in a patriotic fervor, the U.S. Mint continued its usual production of coins, including the classic 1-cent Lincoln penny. Although this coin wasn't created specifically for the bicentennial, it still carries a slice of history from that vibrant period. The design is iconic. On the obverse side, there's the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, gazing proudly to the right. This image, created by Victor David Brenner, was introduced in 1909, marking the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating coin. And on the reverse? The Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing unity and resilience. It's more than just metal, it's a piece of American history, a relic that many people don't think twice about, yet it could be so much more valuable than you imagine. But what could possibly make a penny worth more than its face value? In the world of coin collecting, certain factors make a big difference. Rarity, demand, historical significance, and, crucially, errors. You may have heard about rare coins selling for millions, and often it's not because of the year or design, but because of small mistakes made during the minting process. Tiny errors on coins make them unique, and that uniqueness drives up their value. So, let's take a closer look at what we should examine on a 1976 penny to see if it's one of those prized pieces. First, let's talk about the physical details of the 1976 penny. Made primarily of copper, these pennies were typically produced in Denver and Philadelphia, with each mint adding its own distinct touch to the coins. You'll notice a small mint mark just below the date, either a D for Denver or no mark for Philadelphia. While the mint location doesn't usually determine value on its own, in certain years and with specific errors, it can play a key role in identifying a valuable penny. But what's really intriguing? It's all about those tiny variations, the things that make one 1976 penny unlike any other. Now we get to the thrilling part, errors and misprints. These little quirks can make a coin far more valuable than usual. Here's what to look for. Check for any doubling in the letters Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date 1976. Doubling occurs when the die strikes the coin twice, slightly misaligned. These doubled dies are rare and in high demand. Some 1976 pennies have been found with the design slightly off-center. While minor misalignments are common, anything over 15% off-center can add serious value. Over time, coin dies wear down, causing cracks that can imprint on coins as raised lines. Look carefully along the edges of the Lincoln portrait or around the rim. These cracks are like unique fingerprints for each coin and make them rare collectibles. So, how can you tell if your 1976 penny is worth more than a cent? Here's a step-by-step guide. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to closely inspect the details of the coin. Have a few 1976 pennies on hand to spot differences more easily. Look up images of known error coins online for comparison. If you suspect you have a rare error, consider sending your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate your coin, and certified coins are much easier to sell to serious collectors. Rare coins attract some intense interest at auctions, and we've seen pennies go for astounding amounts. Just recently, pennies with similar errors were sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, at auction. It might seem incredible, but collectors value these coins not only for their rarity but also as pieces of American history. Some collectors are so dedicated that they're willing to pay whatever it takes to add these unique coins to their collections. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Could a 1976 penny really make you a millionaire? It's not just a fairy tale. The rarest, most unique pennies, those with doubling, misprints, or other one-of-a-kind flaws, can indeed fetch staggering prices. For the right 1976 penny, a single coin has the potential to be valued at $23 million. That's right, $23 million. Imagine finding that hidden treasure right in your pocket change. So, check your coins, hold on to those 1976 pennies, and you might just discover the hidden fortune of a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the world of hidden treasures, a small coin with a big story. What if I told you that a humble 1-cent coin from 1972 could be worth more than you ever imagined? Stick around to discover the fascinating journey of the 1972 US penny, and why this little piece of copper could potentially make you very rich. In 1972, the world was changing. NASA launched its final Apollo missions, pop culture was shifting with the rise of disco, and, in the midst of it all, the United States Mint in Philadelphia was producing millions of 1-cent coins. These pennies may look like ordinary change, but as we're about to uncover, there's much more to them than meets the eye. The 1972 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which, while common for its time, makes it quite different from the coins we see today. With over 2.9 billion pennies minted that year, you might wonder, what makes a 1972 penny so special, and why could some of these coins potentially be worth a fortune? This brings us to an extraordinary minting error that makes certain 1972 pennies incredibly valuable. Known as the Doubled Die Obverse, this error caused the details on the front side of some coins to appear slightly doubled, creating a unique look. If you're lucky enough to have a penny with this double die effect, the coin can be worth hundreds, thousands, and, in some rare cases, even millions of dollars. The distinct doubling on the letters Liberty and the numbers in the date 1972 is the first thing collectors look for. Most 1972 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which means they lack any mint mark. While pennies with mint marks from other locations like Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, can be valuable, it's the Philadelphia minted, no mint mark coins with the Doubled Die Obverse that collectors prize most. Because they are rare, collectors are willing to pay huge sums to get their hands on them. So, you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1972 penny is valuable? It's simpler than you'd think. First, check the date. If the numbers look doubled, almost as if there's a shadow behind them, you're on the right track. Look at the word Liberty, too. If it has the same doubled effect, it's time to get excited. Coins with the Doubled Die Obverse are extremely rare, and finding one is like finding a needle in a haystack. But if you do find one, you're holding a piece of American numismatic history in your hands. Over the past few years, the demand for rare coins has exploded. Collectors and investors alike see the 1972 Doubled Die penny as a prime piece to add to their collections. Prices have skyrocketed, as finding one in pristine condition can be extremely difficult. These coins are scarce and were never meant to exist in the first place. It's this unique error, combined with the nostalgia of the era, that fuels the high demand. For collectors, it's like owning a piece of art, a masterpiece from the mint, complete with its own quirks and flaws. If you think you found a valuable 1972 penny, handling it with care is key. Every scratch, dent, or smudge can lower its value significantly. Use gloves, avoid touching the face of the coin, and store it in a proper holder to keep it safe. Getting it professionally graded by a reputable service can also increase its value, especially if it's in good condition. Now, let's talk numbers. Finding a 1972 penny with the Doubled Die Obverse could transform an ordinary piece of pocket change into a life-changing treasure. These coins have been known to fetch prices that seem almost unbelievable. Imagine selling a single penny, for tens of thousands of dollars, or even higher if it's in top condition. And that's not all. In rare cases, a pristine 1972 Doubled Die penny can fetch $22 million on the open market. Yes, you heard that right, $22 million. So, before you toss that spare change aside, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting there. Don't underestimate the power of a penny. It might just change your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories about rare coins and valuable collectibles. Who knows? The next rare find could be right in your pocket.